Hey everyone, Buddha here. I am back to cast a whole bunch of these Gamecom tournament games. Remember, this is an open tournament, so everyone is free to register, either bronze or grandmaster players, and there are $2,000 in prizes at the end for the final 8. There are a few pros in these games also, so I will be casting Vibe later on. He was nice enough to actually send me his replays for this tournament, and we'll follow him throughout the tournament. He is definitely one of the favorites here to make the finals. And I'm sorry for those of you who were following me. I actually had some hardware problems and could not cast for the past week, but I am back and I have a whole lot of these games to cast. I think I have like at least 15 games. So look for them. I will be uploading them on my YouTube channel soon enough. I am casting all of these live, by the way, on JustinTV/BuddhaZerg. Follow me if you want to know when I go live. And in this matchup, the first player will be none other than beagopa. This is a round 3 tournament. This is a round 3 game. I'm sorry, and we have followed B throughout this tournament up to now. And his opponent will be Imperishable, a green Terran. I don't know what rank Imperishable is. I'm sorry, so we'll just have to see what happens on this huge macro map. It is GSL Crevasse. And look for these players to actually get a very fast expansion, because of backdoor expansion, although it only has 6 patches, it has a rich Vespine Geyser, and that just is one more incentive to actually get that fast expo. It is very easy to defend also, so most likely these players will be going for a very long macro game. We'll just have to see. These two players are actually going for both gases at the same time as their first producing structure, the gateway and the barracks, so no very fast expo for either of these players. It usually is very safe to take it, especially in this very, very, very large map. So we'll just have to see what kind of build they decide to do. A cybernetic score now going down for B. And this tournament has now reached round 3. Actually, a few pros don't have time to play their games on time, but they will keep going throughout the tournament. I also have Check 6 Cheesy, who sent me his games, and a player from 6 Jacks. I don't remember who it was just yet, so excuse me. I will be casting their games as well as any other games that you guys send in to me. Second gas and a second gateway already going up for B. Getting rid of that scouting SCV, he can now choose a tech path, and it looks like he is going for a very fast second gas. Will we see a lot of sentries or an early push here, or maybe even some void ray play? We will just have to wait and see. Still no expansion for any of these two players. You can see that the Terran player is actually saving up a lot of minerals, so we might be see his expansion go down very fast. There's the SCV going up there to build the command center. So an expansion going up for a Terran player. He did not decide to wall off here. He could fly up these barracks, or at least build this one here. Maybe he will decide to throw down a bunker instead, just to be safe. Because when you fast expand like this, and if the Protoss actually goes for a 4-gate, it makes you very vulnerable, especially if you don't wall up here. One Stalker will run up here, see what's up, see those 4 Marines, and just dart away. He did not take any hull damage, so no actual damage done here by Imperishable. That Stalker will come back home and regen his entire shields. A robotics facility going down for B already, so might we see some kind of a 1-base immortal with a few gateway pushes? He's actually gearing up for an expansion of his own. He is saving up now just enough for that nexus, and there it goes down. So that robotics facility, not making use of it just yet. Most likely we'll see an observer out of there, and then start the immortal production, because Marauders are actually so popular against Protoss lately. They do huge damage to the Stalkers, and with concussive shell, they actually can just pick some off fairly easily, especially with Stim. They can actually catch up, pick them off, and there is no escape when a Protoss decides to push from these Marauders. Now 2 more barracks producing double Marines and single Marauders, and a second gas for Imperishable as well. So no action as of yet for these two players. We'll just have to wait and see again what happens. The army tab is actually favoring the Terran ever so slightly, and the income tab also, the Terran is very favored here, especially with those mules. You will be seeing that income shoot up. I'm surprised that the Terran didn't actually get the gas on this rich Vespine geyser, because this expansion was up before he got the second gas, so a little blunder here. He should have taken this, gotten that extra boost in gas for absolutely no trade-off. Always a good idea. B most likely will start getting his gas here as soon as possible, since he is going for a very gas-heavy build, as he did get that assimilator very fast, and is very sentry heavy here. You can see a single stalker, a single zealot, and 4 sentries will be able to block off this ramp if the Terran so decides to push. This observer finally made its way across the map to the Terran base and will be able to scout this army, knows exactly how many units are in there, but he has to be careful because a scan here could easily pick this off. You can see that there are actually almost 2 scans saved up for Imperishable. He is still slightly ahead in supply here. He is getting weapons level 1 during that time. B is not getting his own upgrades. He is adding on another gateway, and soon he will have to actually add on more gateways because he is able to produce off of this. And now getting a robotics bay for that Colossus, and very early Colossus actually. He will be chrono boosting them out and hopefully pushing across the map and doing some kind of attack. This observer still floating around. He really has to be careful because now there is even a turret, so if he gets too close, these Marines can actually snipe it quite easily. A factory first tech building going up for Imperishable is followed immediately by a starport. Getting a reactor on that factory, so it will be double medevac here from Imperishable. Being able to heal up that army, so important. Especially if B actually goes for Storm, but he is not, just going for that robotics facility. That Colossus production, actually this reactor might also be for Vikings as soon as he scouts that Colossus being built. I don't know if he actually saw that Colossus tech going up. No, I don't believe he did. So as soon as he scouts that, he will be able to actually start Viking production right away. First Colossus being produced, as well as Thermal Lance being chrono boosted out, and still very passive game here by both these players. None of these players have put any kind of aggression besides that initial stalker that poked up and saw 4 Marines and decided to run out. Still no rich Vespine geyser here by Imperishable. This base is very oversaturated, so look for a third base soon enough. He will need that third base because there are way too many SCVs here on top of that mule. He will want more income soon enough. 45 to 36 SCVs. So B actually very far behind, not merely saturating this base as he would like to. And it does show, as longer this game goes on, longer he will actually stay behind, because now the Terran actually has a huge advantage on him, especially with those mules. I'm surprised, there it goes. I was gonna say I'm surprised that Imperishable didn't throw down an extra command center as of yet, since he does have a lot of money here. And right as I was gonna say that, he does throw down, so great move here by Imperishable. He should actually move out as soon as this is done, so that he can safely expand here. While he moves out, that command center will be able to float up here and transfer some SCVs, finally getting that rich Vespine geyser. So we are 2 bases versus 2 bases, 2 Colossus already up. These are going to be huge in this engagement. It's all going to come down to the positioning of these 2 Colossus. If they can get some good shots off on this bio army, no Vikings on the map as of yet. For Imperishable, I wonder if he even knows about this Colossus. Is still producing double medevac. He's a bit supply blocked right now, so he is producing 2 supply depots. And now he actually scans the main base of B and sees the Colossus. So I doubt he will push further with this army. He is actually gearing up for some drops here. And B gonna be moving out with the Colossus. He has to be careful here not to be sandwiched in between the bio ball and the drops here. If these drops actually he has positioned a few stalkers here, so he is expecting the drops, but 2 full Medivacs could actually take out these 2 stalkers. This Colossus should stay in the base just to defend against this drop. We will just have to wait and see what kind of damage this can do. He has to drop or he will get picked off. He is gonna lose a Medivac full of units without being able to drop them, and this is going to be easily cleaned up by B. So great positioning here, actually catching those Medivacs before they can drop and losing a whole lot of units for nothing. This Observer still on top of the main army, and now the supplies have evened out for B. He should be getting a 3rd base right now as he pushes out. There it goes down. And that command center will float out here, but this is not safe anymore since he did lose those 2 drops. He should be expecting a push here by B, and here it comes. B is coming up with all these armies. These Colossus are going to walk down these cliffs, and with those force fields, he will actually be able to split this army in half and pick it out so easily with these 3 Colossus. Here's the big engagement. I expect B to actually come out in front here. Not the best force fields as of yet. He kind of missed one here to split the army in half, but not too big of a deal. This Colossus doing huge damage. The SCVs transferring at the expansion a bit too early, and this is a huge engagement. Great force fields here, splitting that army in half. There are now 2 Vikings on the map, but that will not be enough. Imperishable GG's, and we will be going into game 2 here, so stay tuned for that.